When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but do not ever quit. Success is a failure turned inside out. Let's talk and clear the clouds of doubt.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another exciting episode of your favorite program, Let's Talk. Of course, with your favorite host, Malik, on your favorite channel, Huda TV. I hope you guys are enjoying our new decor, our new stuff. I even have this fancy new iPad. Can you believe Huda TV is now in the space age? We got rid of those old cue cards. And today we're still committed, as always, to bringing you the best of the best when it comes to guests. And today is no different. We have a very, very special guest. He was born in Athens, Greece, raised in Germany, based in the UK. You might have heard him on the radio in Gambia, or you might have seen him on his YouTube channel giving lectures in Johannesburg and around the world on Stef Carries 9, or you might have seen him online at www.islamforgreeks.org, of course with our brother Ahmed Eldin, who is giving dawah in the Greek language. And without further ado, you may know him also from his book, Europe's Forgotten Ottoman Heritage, a historical guide through Ottoman Greece. We're very excited to have him, Dr. Stef Carries, a.k.a. Abu Yasser. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. How are you? Doctor, how are you? It's been a long time. We've been wanting to bring you to Huda TV, so we're very pleased and happy to have you.
Jazakallah, I'm also very happy to be here. Thank you very much.
You travel all around the world, but you didn't come to Huda TV before.
Well, now I'm here. Come on, now I'm here. Now I'm here.
Thank you, Doctor, for being with us. And of course, you guys, we have another very, very special guest. I don't know, you guys, I hope you're watching Tech Talk on Thursdays at 10:30, I believe, Mecca time. We snatched him up right before the BBC could get him. He's live all the way here from Stokes-upon-Trent, from the UK, aka the Potteries. Of course, I'm talking about Rafi Abdul Malik. Brother, thank you so much for being here.
You're more than welcome. Assalamu alaikum.
MashaAllah, you look very handsome. And you look better than me. You have a wonderful suit on. You're very handsome today.
Thank you so much. No, you're better looking than me, Malik.
Thank God. And of course, we have the studio audience, but from around the world. Once again, we're committed to bring the best guys. I want you guys to go one by one. Tell me your name, what you're doing, and what you're studying, where do you live, and stuff like that. Tell us a little bit about yourself, starting with this handsome young man right here in the front.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, brother.
My name is Ahmed Al-Basyouni. I'm from here, from Egypt.
You're from Russia?
No.
From Egypt, I'm sorry.
Yes,
I want to see your birth certificate and passport, Aki, because you look like you're from Russia or Chechnya.
No.
Next episode, inshallah.
It's all my proud to be from Egypt.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, brother. I'm from Moscow. I mean from Egypt. Thank you, brother. Go ahead, brother. What's your name?
My name is Muhammad Tayil. Actually, I'm interested in history of Eastern Europe.
Bismillah, mashallah, we had the perfect guest for you.
Yeah, because actually it has a lot of Islamic history, and it's my dream to be a correspondent there in order to to get the news and report the affairs of Muslims who live in Eastern Europe, especially Romania, Hungary, and stuff like that, because it has a lot of history.
Do you have any family in Eastern Europe?
Yeah, I guess so.
Who?
My wife.
Your wife is from where?
From Hungary.
Oh, mashallah. Okay, and you are from?
From Egypt.
You're from Egypt. So you guys are both Egyptians. Are you guys like big bashers in Egypt? Okay, well, this is the perfect guest for you. He knows all about Eastern Europe, Western Europe, all of Europe, the Islamic heritage. So I want you to have a lot of questions for Dr. Stef, inshallah. Muhammad. Thank you, Muhammad Tayil from Cairo, Egypt, inshallah. Thank you. Go ahead, brother.
This is Muhammad Garba from Nigeria.
Muhammad Garba from Nigeria. What is your native language, Aki? House of Fulani?
Yeah, Fulani.
I told you I speak Hausa a little bit. Yeah, Gilda.
Okay. Can you say something in Hausa?
Yeah, Gilda. This is Hausa, yeah?
Live, yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm a student at Al-Azhar University, Faculty of Languages and Translation, Department of Islamic Studies in English. Though we've been hearing a lot about the contribution of Islam towards the development of Europe. But we are here today to know more about it, since you said that we have the grace who is going to benefit us a lot from this. You are highly welcome.
Inshallah. And hopefully you can speak a little bit about Islam in West Africa too, if we get a chance. Inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. We are enthusiastic to hear that from him.
Okay, thank you, Sheikh. Thank you so much. Go ahead, brother.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
I'm Adam from Nigeria, studied in Egypt at the Al-Azhar University Faculty of Languages and Translation and Department of Islamic Studies in English.
Excellent. Is your family back home watching Huda TV?
Is that?
Does your family back home watch in Nigeria? Do they watch Huda TV?
Yeah, actually.
They're going to see you now. He waved to them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sulaiman Abakar Musa. I study medicine in Kharkiv National Medical University, Ukraine.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, at least I have something to go home and tell them. Hey, I know culture, the Islamic, whatever, how it started in Europe. At least I have someone here to tell me how it started.
Yeah, exactly.
Eastern Europe, to be precise.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Brother Sulaiman from Nigeria. Thank you. Actually, you're from Nigeria also? No, okay. Where are you from?
Assalamu alaikum to everybody. My name is Hussam Eddin Allam. I'm a student at the Faculty of Sharia and Law English at Al-Azhar University, the 4th year. And through Allah's blessing, I'm the founder and the Secretary General currently for the Association of Islam Ambassadors Association within the Student Union. And I'm so happy to be here with you now and to be with Dr. Steve, because I'm sure that I'm going to learn many informative information about and data about Eastern Europe and how Islam got there, because this is very important to me as an ambassador for Islam.
Thank you. We're honored to have you. And when you graduate, inshallah, we want to put you here as a guest as well, inshallah. So first thing I want to ask Dr. Steve, is it true, did you become Muslim while you were in the UK prison system or before? I'm just joking. When did you become Muslim? Because you were Muslim for a long time. So when did you become Muslim? Tell us a little bit about yourself before we get going.
All right. How long is this show again?
Just briefly, okay. When did you become Muslim?
Let's make it quick. Okay, now I became Muslim in 1992.
Okay.
Okay, now I said Shahada officially in 1992.
Okay.
Although before 1992, I started doing a lot of research, of course. And as a Greek, I was always interested in my heritage. And I thought, well, Islam played a role because of the Ottoman Empire, of course.
Right.
And we had learned so many bad things about these cruel and bloodthirsty Turks.
Yeah, right.
So I thought, let me just see, can this all be true?
Right.
And I started my research about Ottoman history in Greece, and I realized that, hey, wait a second, and the chance that I had growing up in Germany, I spoke German, I spoke English, so I could easily go into other sources instead of the Greek sources. Yeah. So you see, that opened a little bit my eyes. So like this, I realized that, hey, it's not all true what we learned at school. So that pushed me a little bit further. I thought, okay, if this is not true about the Ottomans and the Turks, maybe Islam is not, what they're telling us about Islam is not exactly what they
Okay, how much is the Turkish government paying you to write these books?
Well, we haven't agreed we haven't agreed on anything yet, but I'm being accused of that, yes.
No, I'm just teasing, yeah.
This is absolutely normal, yes.
But you know what, I'm very glad to have you. I don't know if the viewers may know I'm also Greek as well. So the viewers are thinking, what's going on? It's all Greek to me. What's going on?
Don't forget the English though, don't forget the English.
But Rafi always tells me, Malik, don't you know that all the Greeks are Muslims, that Greece was a Muslim country? And they're all, and I say, I don't know, we can't go that far. So now we have you to tell us.
Yes.
Well, it part for more than 400 years of the Ottoman Empire. It used to be actually, yes, it used to be a Muslim country.
But,
yes.
I mean, the percentage of the people living there, were they Muslims or not? Many of them Muslims? What can we say about that?
Okay, look, no. During the time of the Ottoman Empire, the way it was that the majority were still Christians, even that time.
Okay.
So the majority were still Christians. There were Greek Orthodox Christians. There were many Jews that time also there. And the Jews actually came to the Ottoman Empire because the Spaniards were stupid enough to kick them out. And one of the sultans actually at that time said, well, what kind of a wise ruler could this ruler have been if he kicked out the most important elements in his kingdom?
Right.
So indeed, the Jews went to the second biggest city of Greece, Salonika, nowadays, and to Istanbul, Constantinople.
Okay, so. Excellent point. I think Brother Mohammed Tyler from Egypt in the front there has a question.
Yeah, Sheikh, actually, I'm wondering,
which Sheikh? Which Sheikh? Because we all have beards.
Oh, sorry. Did Islam, Sheikh, enter in Cyprus during the Sahaba time?
Yes, it did. It did.
Good question, okay.
Yes, indeed, a good question. During the time of Muawiyah, well, there were some, as they call them, raids. So indeed, there was an Arab garrison actually. They were there for a while, and they even built a masjid in Paphos. Nowadays, the area of Paphos. Now, this masjid does not exist anymore. And as soon as they left, as soon as the soldiers left, they tore it down. So indeed, yes, before the Ottomans went to Cyprus, the Arab Muslims were there already.
SubhanAllah.
Yes, indeed.
Dr. Stef, now your book, you know, as you said, you became Muslim, you became studying Ottoman history, and it's opened your mind to more concepts. You've traveled all around the world. How many countries approximately have you traveled to?
I don't know. I've been to several countries in Africa, Southern Africa especially.
Okay, South Africa, Gambia, you said you were there recently.
Botswana, Zimbabwe. Outside of, well, I've been in South America, several countries in South America. I've been to North America. I haven't been to Australia yet.
Okay.
I had a chance to go to Hong Kong recently again.
What about the West African countries for these brothers here? Have you been to Sierra Leone,
I was
Nigeria?
in the Gambia just a month ago, before I came to Egypt.
Oh, okay.
I was in Gambia.
Okay.
And I had a chance actually to deliver a lecture at one of the colleges there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, are you consider yourself like someone giving dawah? Are you tackling historical, your specialty is history, so you're tackling misconceptions about Islam from a historical perspective. Is that what you're doing? Is that why you're giving lectures and traveling around?
Well, look, yes. Well, my PhD is actually in political science.
Okay.
Okay. The main idea was political science and everything that has to do with it. Well, history plays a massive part of political science, of course. Next to this one, I also did linguistics. So I was always interested in Africa, and I was always interested in whatever the role that languages played in Africa also, because of the colonialist time.
Okay.
So for that reason, I also learned Portuguese and Spanish.
Oh, wow. So you speak Greek, English, Portuguese, Spanish, German?
Yes.
Okay, Martian?
Not yet,
instead of talking about your travels, I want to show the viewers some pictures. What do you think, Rafi?
Great, yes, I'd love to
Let's
see
take a
that.
look at some pictures because, you mashallah, you have a lot of footage from going around Europe, and people can see it on your YouTube channel. I think it's Stef Carries 9. What is this right here? What video is this here? What country is this, Dr. Stef? I believe that is, was that Albania?
That is indeed Albania, yes.
Okay.
Indeed, yes.
What is so special about Albania? Why did you travel there?
Well, Albania is a very special country, actually, because they opened after communist rule, Stalinist rule, actually.
Okay.
They opened in the 90s, beginning of the 90s. And quite some Albanians are nowadays living in Italy and in Greece.
And people, unfortunately, have a very bad misconception about them. Is that true in the UK?
Yes, they have a very bad misconception about everybody. The former,
That's fun,
yeah. There's a certain criteria, and if you don't fulfil that criteria, then you're out of the bucket.
Yeah.
But moving forward, I want to say the former USSR have many countries that were Muslim. Doctor, I want to quickly ask you, very kindly, explain to me about the countries that have moved from the USSR and they've actually now
opened up to the world,
Islam,
like Yugoslavia,
yes.
even Kazakhstan.
These things, yes.
Have you been over there, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan?
I haven't been to Central Asia yet.
But you've been to the former Yugoslav Republic for sure.
I have, yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's great.
Just one thing, Yugoslavia was not part of the USSR, right? Just to make this clear.
Where's my history teacher from high school?
Yes. But call him speed dial.
So the former Yugoslavia was part of Eastern Bloc states.
Eastern Bloc, that's right.
So yes, indeed. And it has broken up now in 6 different countries, minimum.
Maybe 7 if we include Montenegro.
Well, yes.
You told me that. That's
exactly well. But the USSR, indeed, the countries that came out of there, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, and so on and so on. These countries, there is a kind of revival of Islam, if you want to know that, most probably. That's the idea.
I have a friend, his name is Bakrit, and he comes from Uzbekistan, and he was telling me all these things, and I didn't realise. I thought he was a revert brother. However, he's not. He studied in the UK, alhamdulillah, and got his degree from the Faculty of Law, and so accounting. So I'm just amazed. Everything was happening in the USSR because I thought they were all Christian.
They took away their deen, and then now they're getting it back. But for example, Muhammad Tal, who has family in Ukraine now, Ukraine have you traveled to Ukraine?
No, not yet though.
Oh, okay. Is there an Islamic history in Ukraine?
There is actually. Is
there any Islamic communities still there?
There is indeed. I don't know a lot
not
about them.
Muhammad Tal,
but yes,
separate from
let's see if maybe the brother can tell us more. But I don't know exactly the history of Ukraine, but Ukraine has an Islamic community for 100%, and they do have Islamic heritage. Yes, they do.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's a country on the face of the earth that doesn't have some sort of Islamic
Not
heritage.
really. Even Finland. Can you believe that?
But how Finland?
Well, Finland, when the Turkish tribes came actually to Europe, they split. And some of them, the Huns, went to Hungary, and that's why Hungary is called Hungary.
And they call it Magyar also.
Right?
Yeah,
Magyar, exactly.
Yeah, right.
And the rest went to Finland.
Oh, I see.
So basically, the Finno-Hungarian people have close roots.
But they probably don't like to admit it, right?
They don't really like, the Finnish people, they used to, during the time of communism, they used to actually always parade their blonde, 10 women that they have, like 20 or something, blonde of them, and they would parade them in the street, so listen, we are also Scandinavian people, but they're actually not Scandinavian.
That's an excellent point. All I know is the Nokia phones come from Finland. They're very proud about that. And Linux, too. We have some more videos from your travels. Let's see what we got up, because I know you travel all around the world. I want the videos, the viewers to benefit. Where is this, Dr. Stef? This looks like the inside of a masjid.
It is indeed, yes, it is, yes.
Is that also Albania, or?
Let me just look at that one.
Let's take a look. Or actually, no, that is outside.
That is not, it's not a masjid, no. Okay, it's Komotini in the north of Greece.
Wow, okay.
That's the north of Greece.
What are you doing there, and why are you there?
Well, in Greece we still have a small Muslim minority.
MashaAllah.
Okay.
MashaAllah.
The numbers, and that indicates why there are issues. The numbers vary between 80 and 150,000.
Okay.
So people say, some sources refer to them as 80,000, some say 120,000, some say 150,000.
Okay, right.
It depends who is busy with what source is saying what.
Yeah, right.
What do we want as Greeks now to admit that we do have 1.5% of our population is Muslim? Or do we just want to say it's less than 1%, so that's not important, so that's the point here, that's the point.
Okay, that's the whole point, that's the question. What do we want to mean as Greeks? But it looked like the footage we saw there was very nice, clean little streets, and looked like a nice little quaint area. And there's a lot of Ottoman heritage there as well?
There is a lot, yes.
They have masjids and...
The Muslims who still live in these areas, in the area of Thrace,
right.
They originally, well, they come from the Ottoman Empire. Actually, they're the remainder of the Ottoman Empire. And, but they're divided into 3 or even 4 groups, I dare say.
Okay, let's mention it quickly before we go to break. I think we have Pomaks.
The one group is the Pomaks, who are the Bulgarian-speaking Pomaks.
Okay.
Then the Turkish speakers. Okay. Then the Gypsies. And the 4th group is people who come originally from Africa, 1,000 of them, who are actually from Sudan or Egypt, from southern Egypt.
Okay.
So darker people, actually.
Yeah, mashallah.
They themselves don't know really where they're from, but...
Yeah, it's a mixture, inshallah. Okay. You guys stay tuned for more Let's Talk with Rafi Abdul Malik as well as Dr. Stef as we travel around the world, so stay tuned.
إذا دكت الأرض دكا.
Do you want to learn how to recite the Quran? Do you want to read Islamic books in Arabic? You may enroll in a small group.
العسل من السوق اشترى. نعم اشترى.
A private lesson.
من مثلها في فضلها.
من مثلها في فضلها.
Or at your own pace to fit your schedule.
هل أنت معجب في المعهد؟
Courses for sisters with female instructors. We're bringing you the latest software technology, professional instructors, and a state-of-the-art classroom to the comfort of your home. Enroll now in Huda Academy. Huda Academy, your gateway to authentic Islamic knowledge.
Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to Let's Talk. Like I said, we're bringing you the best of the best when it comes to guests, and I'm so pleased to have Abu Yasser, Dr. Stef Karis. He has a million names. How many names do you have, Doctor? Is the FBI following you or something?
You sound exactly like them. That's I just wanted to say that, you know, like, AK, who is this now? No, Stef Karis is simply my pseudonym, actually, or the short form of Stefanos Kefokeris.
It's all Greek.
Well, if I had, to you it's very Greek anyway, and to the others it's even more Greek. You know? But for that reason, I shortened it, Stef Karis, basically, just make it easy for everybody. Because, as you said, I do travel a lot, so it is really always like, okay, what is the name, like Kefokeris? You know, you have
it's hard to say.
Trying to. So
tell me about it. Also,
well, as you can understand.
And Rafi Abdul Malik, everybody knows you now because you're famous from TikTok, actually.
Inshallah. I'm not that famous.
You guys, we have a wonderful video, a report. I want you guys to check it out, and I want to get the comments of our brothers in the studio audience as well as you guys. So we're going to go to a quick report. It's really going to lift your iman and make you happy when you see what we're about to show you. So check it out. We'll be right back.
Takbir. Takbir. Έλα, θα σου κάτσε. Εδώ. Κάτσε εδώ. Λοιπόν, Τάσο, η επιλογή είναι συνειδητή. Κανένας δεν σε έχει υποχρεώσει, κανένας δεν έχει, έτσι, δεν σε έχει πιέσει, έτσι. Σίγουρα. Σίγουρα, απόλυτα. Okay. Λοιπόν, δέχεσαι τις 5 κολόνες του Ισλάμ. Βεβαίως. Τα άρθρα της πίστης του Ισλάμ. Βεβαίως. Οκ. Τότε θέλω να πεις μετά από μένα αυτά που θα σου πω, έτσι. Ashhadu. Ashhadu. Anna. La ilaha. La ilaha. Illallah. Illallah. Wa ashhadu. Wa ashhadu. Anna. Muhammadan. Muhammadan. Rasulullah. Rasulullah. Takbir.
Welcome back. That certainly seemed like a nice video, but what were they saying? They weren't speaking English. Dr. Stef, what happened there? That man made his shahada?
What happened indeed, yes. That was our very first conference in Athens, in Greece.
So as you travel around the world making dawah, you stop back in your native country, Greece?
Well, yes. We started, actually, the brother you saw there was Ahmed ad-Din, who
He's Greek as well.
He's Greek, he's living in Athens.
MashaAllah.
And he started the dawah 3 years ago.
Excellent.
Now, and we somehow met, alhamdulillah, as Allah wanted to. We met when I was in Athens. And he said,
good.
listen, are you ready? Do you want to join me? I said, why not? It's a great opportunity. And we started last year working together on a conference. Now, this was our very first conference.
Oh, mashallah.
And as you saw, Tassos accepted Islam, mashallah. This is a great thing. I didn't even know. He just asked me, as you saw at the beginning, he asked me, can you get up?
Really?
I said, well, what for? Somebody's coming to sit here. I said, oh, no problem. Okay, so I got up.
Yeah.
And then this person sits next to him. I was thinking, what is happening? And he asks him basically, do you accept the 5 pillars of Islam? And do you accept so?
That's what he's saying in the
That's
Greek
what he's saying in
language.
the,
Okay.
exactly.
Then he says the shahada, of course, in Arabic.
Exactly.
And we can find Ahmed ad-Din, I think, on www.islamforgreeks.org, I believe. That's very cool. That's excellent. What do you think, Rafi? Can you translate the Greek for me?
I'd love to, Malik. I'll ask you later. Let's stop the show and translate it for me, and I'll certainly tell you, Malik. I'll certainly tell you. It's fascinating. You know, I always love to see somebody saying the Shahada.
Whatever language it is, it makes it even more beautiful when you come from different parts of the world.
Inshallah, it's fascinating.
Let's go to the studio audience. What are you guys doing over there? What's going on? You guys have any questions or comments for the doctor?
I think if we all noticed something, there was one unique thing in what he said. It's like one thing that unites all Muslims together. That's like the Arabic in which he used to like say the Shahada, and the Shahada itself. At least that is something that is in every Muslim's heart.
Yeah, of course.
That alone can like make all of us united and stuff like that.
It makes you feel so happy, right? To see different people, different places.
It's good to see people. I mean, I don't think he knows any other word in Arabic, but at least the Shahada, it's etched in his head in Arabic. But I have like 3 questions. I hope the Sheikh will be able to answer it. That Sheikh, actually. Not the other. Right. First of all, how did Islam enter Europe? Like through which channel? And secondly, I've heard about the Andalusians. I don't know much about them. And secondly, and thirdly, the Ottoman Empire. Did it start from Greece or Turkey?
Can you start in maybe 2 minutes? Because I know the other brothers want to ask questions. Maybe just briefly.
All right.
Thank you, brother.
Very brief, very quick. Thank you very much for the questions. They're really good questions. Okay, now in general, first of all, we should not forget that Islam came actually from the West into Europe. It came from Spain. So the Iberian Peninsula, which is Spain and Portugal together, so the first one to put actually foot in Spain was Tariq bin Ziyad. And that's why the name of Gibraltar is an Arabic term, actually, Jibr al-Tariq. Okay, that was the mountain, the rock of Tariq, because it's basically, Gibraltar is nothing else but a rock. Okay, a rock with surrounding. And it is still British nowadays. And, well, he was the first one to set foot in Europe. Okay, and that's how Islam spread from there, from Spain, Portugal, into the rest of Europe, France, and from there it went on. And then later, the Ottomans coming from the east, they came in the 13th century, 14th century. When they came into the east of Europe, they came through Constantinople, they came to Greece, from Greece all the way into the Balkans. They are the ones who are responsible for the Islam spreading from the east into Europe. So there is a west and there is a east entrance, if you want to call it that way.
Very good, excellent. Brother, do you have a question as well?
Yes, actually, I have many questions in mind. But the most prominent one is about the misconceptions surrounding the Ottoman Empire and its history in Europe, and how it played a very important role in spreading Islam, as you have just mentioned, about getting Islam into Europe. So the most prominent misconception is that they used gunpowder cannons, and so this is number one. And the second one is the misconception about how they were dragged into the World War, if I may say.
Excellent, so thank you, brother. How were they dragged into the First World War? I believe, yeah, excellent.
Yes.
Doctor, what can you say?
All right. Yes, wonderful questions, all of you guys. Okay, now, misconceptions of the Ottoman Empire, that's exactly why we are doing, actually, we have been doing for the last couple of days now a series on Huda TV about the Ottoman Empire. And it is indeed a very, very important point. The most important point is so many misconceptions. There are so many misconceptions. And not only from the side of the Europeans, definitely not only from our side, from the Greek side, but even the Arabs have so many misconceptions that it is irritating to speak to certain people. Recently, just some months ago, I spoke to a Syrian who really thought that he was saying exactly the same things that my parents are saying. And it is irritating to hear that from a Muslim coming and not understanding at all what's happening around you. So where to start and where to end? I mean, yes, with regards to the gunpowder, by the way, the cannon was the massive cannon that was put up in order to conquer Constantinople was put up by a Hungarian. Okay, was put up by a Hungarian, and this Hungarian was paid by the Ottomans to do that. Okay, and he decided, well, it was business for him, so he just went over. As many, there were even Christian mercenaries who were actually there supporting the Ottomans. So it was not something, you know.
The Ottomans treated them better than, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Doctor, than the Protestant Christians did when they sacked Constantinople and put the prostitute on the chair of Hagia Sophia, all these things.
Very true.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, go ahead.
Exactly.
Steph, I just want to quickly ask you, where did the Ottoman Empire start? Was it, you know, Turkey, Iraq?
The Turkish, the Turks themselves, or the Turkish tribes, come originally from Inner Asia. Okay, Central Asia, Inner Asia, even up to Mongolia. Now, they don't like hearing that, but some of the Turkish tribes...
Even China, right? Even West China.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. It's a massive area, I mean, where they come from originally, where so many Turkish tribes, we're not talking about one or two, we're talking about many. Massive number of Turkish tribes. Now, not all of them, of course, came to Europe, not all of them stayed in Europe, and the Huns were one of them. Okay, and nowadays they form the country of Hungary. You know, some of them went to Finland, as I said before. Some of them got stuck in Eastern Europe. Some of them went to Greece, and so on and so on.
So, they started in Asia, Doctor?
They started in Asia, yes, in Central Asia, yeah. And the Ottomans was just a dynasty, because the first one who started this dynasty, his name was Osman, or Othman in Arabic. So that's why.
Oh, they say Osman because of the Turkish accent.
That's right, that's right.
Othman is his name, I see.
That's right, that's right. Othman is his actual name.
I don't want to interrupt you guys out. Before we go to Dr. Basuni as well in the studio audience, I want to check out another video of some of your travels because I want the viewers to travel around the world with you and get this experience.
Excellent.
So let's check out this next video and let's see where you are. I think you have so much footage all around the world. Where is this? This looks like a graveyard. Very green, very mountainous area, hilly, we could say.
Again, that's in the north of Greece.
This is northern Greece again. So you spend a lot of time in Greece and Turkey, seems.
Well, I'm up and down due to the dawah. I'm up and down the whole time. I'm actually in Greece. I've been in Turkey several times. I did a documentary 2 years ago, and this is part of the documentary. It's a scene out of it. This particular town is actually a bigger village, a smaller town, in the north of Greece, in a province called Xanthi.
Xanthi, it's in the northeast of Greece?
Not far in the northeast of Greece, not far from the main city of Xanthi.
Okay.
Achinos, it's called, where the population is 100% Muslim. But they are actually all Pomaks.
Okay.
Now, Pomaks means they're Bulgarian-speaking people.
Oh, okay. And they still
Pomak is a Bulgarian dialect.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for sharing that footage with us. Have you been to northern Greece, Rafi? You've been to Cyprus before, you said.
I've been to Cyprus. I've been most places in Greece, inshallah, but not the remote places.
Yeah, of course.
Like this, Skathos,
Paphos,
these places.
Yeah, mashallah.
Athens.
Excellent.
You know, when I went, I didn't concentrate on Islamic things, but, you know, I'm finding out today and all this week about the Islamic history.
MashaAllah, it's very interesting, yeah.
Yes, it's fascinating. One thing that I want to ask you, though, Doctor, moving about Iraq, what did Iraq play a part in the Ottoman Empire?
And have you traveled there as well?
I haven't been to Iraq yet, unfortunately. But Iraq, Baghdad, obviously, was the capital of the Abbasids, and that played an important role. Now, when the Ottomans took power over and the Abbasids had become very weak, they had to actually give the Sultan's title in the Caliphate. They had to give it actually away to the Ottomans, and that's what they did in the end.
I see.
So Iraq itself became an Ottoman province.
Yes.
Oh, like Greece. Okay, so it's a province.
Yes.
Not a excellent.
Turkey now seems not to be too Islamic like other Islamic countries, although it is an Islamic. What's the difference? Why have they separated themselves?
They look like Europeans now.
Turkey, Turkey is a specific case. Turkey is following in the footsteps of Kemal Atatürk, who was the founder of this modern republic of Turkey now, 1923. He got rid of the Sharia, he got rid of everything that reminded him of Islam. He himself actually hated Islam.
Yeah,
yes,
he was
absolutely, absolutely. He hated Islam. He clearly stated this.
But he was Jewish and he stopped the Arabic script and he banned women from wearing hijab.
Allah let me if he was Jewish, but he came from an area, he came from Salonika, which during the time that he was born in Salonika was 70% Jewish. But even if, I don't think that this is a point. If he was not Jewish or not, I think even a Muslim can do, so-called Muslim can do what he did.
So thank you. Good point. Good point.
You know, so I think he was very secular in his mind, and actually he was not. He clearly declared himself as non-Muslim, and the scholars of that time actually declared him being a kafir.
Okay, excellent. Brother Akram Basuni, how are you, brother?
Fine, alhamdulillah.
What would you like to share with the doctor?
I just want to first to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be in a very blessed place, which is Huda TV, hoping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for these very good channels which spread Islam, because we are speaking about spreading Islam around the world, and these channels make a very good rule in this very great task, which is the task of the messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is spreading Islam. So we forget to make dua for these channels to spread more and more and more around the world, to spread the message of Islam to these great places, which is the Western and other countries. My point, speaking about the spreading of Islam, we heard in our episode many times our doctor and our guests say opening the Western countries and opening these very changed places, which is the Western countries. What happened to Muslim nowadays? What happened to our civilization nowadays? Where is the gap? We knew that the old times, which is the times of Sahaba and the other persons followed them, opening these countries, spreading the message of Islam. And we also saw these people, which the Western people, took the Islamic civilization as a very great thing, and they were very happy for taking this very great civilization. Nowadays we find a gap, we find something different, which is the Arab countries. Persons start always think about changing their civilization, their Islamic civilization, to these different civilizations, to the civilization of the Western people. And we as Muslims have the main light for all this universe, which is the light of the deen.
Of course.
What happened? Where is the gap? Is the gap in the persons, or the gap in the countries, or in the civilization? We just want to know.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. That's an excellent point, because it seems like the European civilization has taken the good things that Muslim had to offer, like the compass I heard you mention before was invented by Muslims. So they took the compass and discovered, quote unquote, like I've heard you say, the whole world. We had so many good things to offer. Now it seems we've fallen behind. And now, in fact, in the heart of the Middle East, here in the Arab world, we are imitating Westerners, which is maybe good or bad. If it's definitely a good offer to take the good they have, but it seems like we're taking the bad.
Absolutely.
So what happened, and how can we reverse this, Doctor?
Well, it's absolutely true what you're saying. It's really a good point. Al-Andalus, or Spain as it was called, the Iberian Peninsula was called Al-Andalus during the time of when it was Islamic. And nowadays, Al-Andalus has become Andalusia, which is a province of Spain, okay? And still you will see so many Arabic names that remind you of that time. It's all there. And there are even mosques there, there's even madrasas are there, bridges that were built, and everything, or many things are still there. Now, but that's the major example, actually. In Al-Andalus, when they were united, when the Muslims were united and they were strong, the first 100, 150 years, it was going extremely well. And that's why within some years, within 4 years, they were already in Madrid and Toledo. And nowadays, you need if you go by car, you go from Gibraltar to Madrid, it can take you 3-4 hours by car. That time, we're talking about horses. And they were fighting. So imagine. Now, and they were joined by the Christians and the Jews. Many of them even accepted Islam on their way. So, yeah, we were strong ones as Muslims, as a Muslim ummah. Now, the point of this is, that's exactly the point. Are we still an ummah? And I doubt this. I doubt this. Nowadays, you are an Egyptian, not even an Arab. You are an Egyptian, and you are a Libyan, and you are a Lebanese, and you are a Syrian. You're not even an Arab. Imagine that. And then you go further, and then you have other Muslims who are Greeks, Italians, whatever, God knows whatever.
We have to throw this away.
The nationality has taken over. And this, again, it has really poisoned our mind. The French Revolution has done a good job to poison our mind, but nobody told them. They did their job. The French Revolution did what they have to do. After that, the Europeans took the idea of nationalism over, and then we Muslims take this over. Nowadays, we are more nationalist than the Europeans even.
Exactly.
The Europeans are trying now to come together to form a European Union, trying to get rid of this identity problem. And we as Muslims are still stuck in there, and the first thing is where you're from, and not are you Muslim or not?
But the key is re-educating ourselves.
Absolutely.
And this is why you've written this book, Europe's Forgotten Ottoman Heritage. So re-educate ourselves about this thing.
That's very true.
Because I think we have to go back, like you said, and clean out this poison from our minds and start fresh, inshallah. You guys really have to go to a quick break. Rafi, hold your tongue, okay? Just wait after the break. You guys stay tuned. You guys at home, stay tuned for more Let's Talk. We'll be right back with Dr. Stef, Abu Yasser, and Rafi and our studio audience right after the break. So stay tuned.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala choose whom He wills subhanahu wa ta'ala for His mercy, for His messengership, for the revelation to be revealed. This is not for the human beings to make that decision. If a person would turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sincerely, truthfully, asking for forgiveness, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised to forgive. We have as Muslims a duty, and that is to recite the book of Allah, to ponder over the verses, the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to act according to the Quran. The mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala encompasses everything, but who would this mercy will be for? And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sent to all mankind. So the ummah, or the people of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, are all mankind since the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam till the day of judgment. Why waste our life without getting to know every verse in the Quran, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us?
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Let's Talk. I'm so excited. We have Dr. Stef Karis. You've seen him on his YouTube channel, of course, Stef Karis 9. He's all around the world promoting Islamic history from the correct and true and honest Islamic perspective to re-educate ourselves about our history and to be proud about it. Of course, we have more videos to show you as well. We've been showing you videos throughout this program. We're joined also by the host of Tech Talk, mashallah, Brother Rafi Abdul Malik, all the way here from Stokes-upon-Trent, a.k.a. the Potters. Maybe Dr. Stef can tell us about the Islamic history of Stokes. Is there any Islamic history there? Why are you guys laughing? Maybe we can dig up some pot or something.
Maybe you'll find something.
It's becoming very popular. We'll have Islamic history in the United Kingdom very soon.
Excellent, inshallah. We have our brother in the studio audience, Muhammad Garba, all the way here from Nigeria. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Okay. But I'm really indebted to Dr. Abu Yasser for being here today and benefiting us with the uncommon knowledge, especially in this episode. In fact, I have nothing to say, rather to say thank you very much.
But, thank you too for being here.
The question that I wanted to ask is that we've been hearing here and there that Islam has contributed immensely towards the development of Europe. Even some went to say that Islam is part of Europe. Please, could you try as much as possible to mention for us what are the important areas in which Islam has contributed towards Europe?
Thank you, brother. Yeah, excellent question. Thank you, Muhammad Garba. Wait for your family. All the Nigerians, we have so many Nigerian viewers, so wait for the camera. Maybe some friends. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. So what has, I know you said the compass, sciences, what else? What have you done?
There is a book written. I mean, if I had to mention everything here, I think we would need another show. But there is a book which is called 1001 Inventions, which is an excellent book. It comes from the UK, 1001 Inventions.
That's your country, I think.
I do not remember. Do you know this one?
Yes, it's very good.
It's really good. Excellent. And they've actually traveled, or they're traveling throughout the UK, setting up small, like a museum kind of type of thing for a temporary museum.
Okay.
And then they're wonderful. Now, they are researchers themselves, Muslim researchers, and they have come all this, what you're just saying. And there is so much. The compass is one of them. There's so many things. I mean, the so-called Turkish fire, they used to call it Turkish fire during the time of the Ottomans, it's an invention from the Ottomans. You know, it's something that, again, is, let's call it Islamic, whatever. But all this, there's so many things. You don't know where to start, what you want to start.
That's excellent.
But the population in Europe, indeed, you're right. Islam is part of Europe as much as Christianity is part of Europe. Because we do have nowadays Muslim countries in Europe. We do have Turkey, which is part of Europe, and Turkey is 99% Muslim. We have Albania, which is 70% Muslim. with all the problems that they have still, they're 70% of Muslims. Bosnia, which is 40 to 50% Muslim. Kosovo, Montenegro, these are all countries, you know, they came out of the former Yugoslavia. So these, they are all Europeans, very European actually, and they're all Muslims, mashallah. So
excellent, yeah. We have contributed a lot, to say the least. I want you guys to get out your passport. I think you have a British passport. What are you holding, a Greek one or something?
I'm holding both. I have a German and a Greek one.
Get out your passports out. We're going to go for a trip. We're going to watch some more footage of Abu Yasser around the world. I feel like I'm traveling right now in first class on Huda TV's paying for it. Mashallah, it's great. It's even better, you guys. We're in first class. Can we see some more? Let's check out this footage you brought us, Abu Yasser, of, let's see where you are right now, inshallah. You are in, looks like a quaint little place. Looks like northern Greece again.
Okay. It is actually a city called Kavala.
And this is in Greece again?
Which is in, yes, it's in Greece, in Macedonia. Okay. The province of Macedonia.
This is confusing. Can you explain it for us? Yeah.
Okay, very, very good. I wanted to go into this point. Now, this is the Turkish area of Kavala. It's called still Turkish area. No Turks live there anymore. But it used to be the area where the Ottoman Turks used to live, or the Muslims used to live.
Okay.
Now it's still as it used to be, actually. It's beautiful. You know, mashallah, even the houses have remained the way they were. But they were, after the population exchange which happened in 1923, the Turkish and the Greek government of 1923 decided to exchange populations, as they called it.
So for Greek Muslims, for Turkish Christians?
Exactly, exactly. Kind of like this, yes.
Is this good or bad?
Well, you know, for me,
bad,
I
right?
consider this a kind of genocide, actually, of the 20th century.
Yeah, right.
This one, what you can see now is a typical Ottoman house, mashallah. It's a typical Ottoman architecture, mashallah. It's beautiful.
The balcony there and
the balcony is
a
women,
typical,
exactly. Now the idea, imagine now the balconies that we have nowadays in Europe, they originate from there. The Ottomans used to make balconies for their wives, so that they could still go out, but not being out to be seen, but they could still look out. So this is a typical Ottoman balcony, actually, and that's where the idea comes from, mashallah.
Bismillah, mashallah, it's beautiful.
So imagine, that's another, you asked before, you know, what did they contribute? I mean, this is one of the contributions.
Architecture.
Again. Architecture, definitely.
Aqueducts.
Definitely.
Right,
bridges they left behind, especially in the Balkans. The Serbs tried to destroy all these bridges. That was one of the main
not just the people, they killed the architecture as well.
That's it, exactly. They hit the people in the main... in the heart, actually, of culture and religion and everything. So they tried to destroy all the bridges that were there in Bosnia before, Mostar, in Sarajevo, of course. So they tried to destroy as much as they could.
And would you say Bosnia looks like this as well, because it has an Ottoman theme?
Yes, yes.
Bosnia
I mean,
or northern Greece, and
that's
Turkey,
right.
it looks similar,
that's right. That's right. I mean, what you see here is pretty much representative for the whole of the Balkans.
Yeah, mashallah.
I mean, from Vienna all the way down.
Yeah.
And don't forget, Austria. You know, they were up to Vienna. I mean, the Ottomans had reached Vienna, and the German-speaking countries were actually shaking. And they were shivering, and it's amazing to see. I grew up in Germany, as you said before, and it's very interesting to when they use the word Turk in German, the verb, there is a verb to Turkify something, or to make something Turkish, which means to make something
Muslim.
No. Let me just think now carefully how to say it. If you copy something and you don't copy it right.
Okay.
Basically, you copy something, but it's a falsification, to falsify something.
Oh, okay.
Imagine a negative. It's a negative word.
Yeah,
so to make something Turkish is to falsify something.
So, yeah, of course.
So this is the meaning in German. Yes.
Okay, but they don't think about like this beautiful footage we're watching now. Well, this is a beautiful thing that the Ottoman Turks left behind. So we should embrace it.
Well, yes, of course. I mean, tourism is a great thing to do. You know, Islamic tourism. When I've been busy for the last 3 years, I'm taking tourists down to Greece and Cyprus.
Yeah.
And I take them especially to these places so they can take a look and learn more about Islamic history.
So, now, if you look at that, and if you come to Cairo, Egypt, and old in parts of Cairo, you also look like that as well from their Ottoman history. Where's your footage of Stokes-upon-Trent, Rafi?
Well, I'm bringing it to you. I'm going Huda TV.
Do you have an Ottoman history? Do you have Ottoman history in Stokes-upon-Trent?
I wish we did have.
Maybe there's something like a castle by the Primark?
well, Malik, I'm waiting to see you on Saudi Airlines with this program, alhamdulillah.
It's all right. Thank you, Brother. You guys in the studio audience, you have any more questions, any more comments? Brother Taya, I think. Or Adam in the back. Go ahead. Brother, you didn't say anything yet. Yeah. Speak up, Aki.
Firstly, I wish to thank our doctor for his great job.
Thank you.
And this presentation. As we understand that there are some people categorizing the history of Islam in Europe into two particular segments. The first one is the period of Ottoman Empire, and the second one is the post-Ottoman Empire. My question is that after the post-Osman Empire is toward the 20th century. After 20th century, my question is that does Islam, or does the attack of 9/11 in United States of America has any impact in Islam on people embracing Islam in Europe or not?
Excellent. Thank you for your question. But I have to ask you, who tied your tie? It's very nice. It's nicer than mine. Rafi, who tied your tie? It's nicer than mine. You told me you know how to tie a tie.
I try.
No problem. So has 9/11 affected Europe bad as well? Because, of course, I mean, there was... they say supposedly that there was... Has 9/11 affected Europe negatively?
Okay, first of all, I don't have a tie, you see? So that's the first thing. But second, yes, indeed, it has affected Europe very, very much. Very much. In such a way that a country like the Netherlands, where my wife is from, by the way, can you see me,
Your
by
first
the way?
wife?
My only, one and only. Okay?
I have two wives.
One and only, one and only.
My second wife is Hooded TV.
Okay, very good. You see, there you go. So, she's from Holland, as I said, and we used to live, actually, I was 5 years in Holland, mashallah, and I did enjoy it that time. That was before 2001. But from the moment that it happened in New York, from September 2001 on, suddenly the Dutch people became so-called racist, xenophobic, Islamophobic, from one day to the other.
Right.
So the thing is, of course, it doesn't happen overnight. It was there the whole time.
It was an excuse.
But due to human rights issues and Europe and European constitution and God knows what else, they could not utter it like this. They could not really say that we hate you. But now, hey, no problem. On the street you get comments, you know, you hear here and there. They refer to anything you can imagine. So yes, it has affected us very much in Europe, and it has affected also us in Greece even, although they do have another past. I mean, they could go back to the Ottomans and just see it in a different way, but still it has affected us all in Europe very much. But with regards to the conversion rate, what you said before, you see, isn't it Allah says in the Quran that they are planning, but who plans best? It's Allah who plans best. Now, after 2001, it's known in the world that the conversion rate has gone up. Before 2001, there was an interest in Islam, but it was not as it was. I mean, I became Muslim in 1992. So it was like 10 years before.
You're way before all this.
Way before.
Really, mashallah, Allah granted you a big barakah and gave you Islam many years ago. Yeah.
That's right. So before the attack, and in these 10 years, I must say, I didn't see a lot happening. Things were happening. But from 2001 to today, I mean, these 10 years after the attack, wow. I mean, mashallah, I keep meeting brothers from the States, from North America, from Europe, from Australia. I keep meeting Muslims, and I keep hearing about activities. It's amazing, mashallah. So, alhamdulillah, thanks for the attack, thanks for Bosnia, thanks for everything. Because Bosnia was needed, yes. Bosnia was needed too, by the way.
Why Bosnia too? I'm talking about the genocide of Bosnia in 1992.
I'm talking about the war 1992 to 1995 in Bosnia, which was a very sad thing. But we seemingly need reminders like that. And Bosnian brothers keep telling me, in Germany, for example, I have a lot of Bosnian friends. Now they keep telling me that was something that was needed in order to shake us up. And not only our Muslims who started, our women who started wearing hijabs, but also the men who started praying. Can you believe that there were Muslims in Bosnia that didn't even know they were originally Muslims? There were Muslims who didn't even know they were Muslims. And suddenly, because of their name, they were persecuted by the Serbs. And this is unacceptable. So, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, for everything. Everything is good. I mean, Allah knows what He's doing, obviously.
Yes, Allah, yeah.
It's quite difficult, Malik, because it has a huge effect, definitely in the UK. We have a very huge population of Muslims in our country, and we saw the decline of the Muslim. Even myself, I wasn't a Muslim at this time, and I felt from that day, that's it, don't give me any Islamic things, I don't want to know anything about the religion. I was I was one of them people that was against Islam. Alhamdulillah, Allah guided me to the right path, alhamdulillah. But it was very shocking.
I heard a German man, Brother Tahir, he's been on Let's Talk. He said, I went to Istanbul, I heard the adhan, it made me mad, I didn't want to hear it.
Yes.
Then Allah has to change his heart, just change his heart, he's in control of everything.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes, subhanAllah. But what's next for you, Abu Yasser? You focus on Europe. Are you going to go to a different part of the world, like West Africa, like these brothers here, or Southeast Asia? What other parts of the world are you interested in?
Well, I am actually interested in Southeast Asia. I'm interested in Indonesia, Malaysia, and I will most probably travel there also, inshallah, because we will start a project, inshallah, and this is something I would like to mention too. Starting a project in Ramadan, a magazine, an online magazine, which is called Ilm Online. So Ilm for Islamic Lifestyle Magazine.
Online magazine.
Online magazine. So subscribe at ilmonline.net. Is basically
.net?
At this moment, yes, .net.
Or is it dash or dot? Or be clear about it because we want to contact you. Yeah.
I hope you're going to show it.
Yeah.
So what I want at the moment, so basically there is an email address where people can subscribe to. They can just register. They can just write us an email and just say, okay, I'm interested in the magazine. I would like to receive it for free.
Okay. Oh,
so
it's free. Excellent.
It basically says subscribe at ilm-online.net.
Okay, excellent.
So that's the magazine.
And so why is it beneficial? Why should we subscribe to this magazine?
It is a lifestyle magazine, an Islamic lifestyle magazine, in a way that we don't just focus on history. For history is an important part.
Right.
We focus on social events.
Right.
We focus on sports. We focus on everything that has to do with lifestyle.
So we can read a magazine without reading that garbage or that rubbish, like you British guys say.
Alhamdulillah.
You can see something nice and halal. You don't have to see
online.
Online,
yes.
Because one time, I think Brother Muhammad Taylor, I think you would agree, whenever you buy a magazine these days, you can't look at anything because there's so many bad things. So we'll have a nice Islamic magazine online.
Yes, inshallah. We're going to start in Ramadan, inshallah. Yes.
The Ramadan coming, inshallah. Yeah,
yes, inshallah. So whoever wants to can subscribe and
for free,
inshallah. For free, that's right.
Excellent. Muhammad Taylor, brother, do you have a question? Or Suleiman, do you have a question?
Yeah, it's more of a contribution and a question.
Excellent. Go ahead.
What you said about Islamophobia in Europe. Like last year, there was an attack in Norway by a man named Breivik.
Yeah.
Remember? Yes. Well, his reasons were that Islam was growing in Europe and no one was doing anything about it.
That's crazy,
so
right?
Islamophobia in Europe, I don't know if you can enlighten us a little bit about it, but I think there's leaving the deaths aside, we can derive a kind of joy from what Breivik did. Because what was Breivik's motives? Why did he do it? His main reason was Islam is growing in Europe and it's uncontrollable. Nothing is happening about it.
Yeah, excellent.
So what you can just say is MashaAllah, what God wills.
Yeah. But I'm sorry, I have to stop you because actually we have to stop the episode. We're out of time. But I just want to thank you for sharing that comment. That's an excellent point. Look why he did it, because Islam is growing, alhamdulillah. Really quick, Brother Muhammad Taylor, do you want to say a quick comment? We have to close the episode because we're out of time.
Well, I have a question, Sheikh, about the oppression against Muslims nowadays. Actually, it reminds me of the oppression before. That, for example, during the history of Ottoman Empire, there is Dracula, and he killed millions of Muslims, but we haven't read about it.
But we're going to have to see this on the next episode. We're going to, Dr. Stef, you can't answer now. We're going to leave the viewers in suspense. We invite you. You have an open invitation. We're going to leave that question hanging out there for the viewers and about Dracula killing people in Ukraine. Thank you so much, Aki, for your question. Thank you guys all for joining us. You guys are welcome here at Let's Talk anytime. Brother Rafi, thank you for flying all the way from Stokes-upon-Trent, a.k.a. the Potteries.
Great.
For being here. We appreciate it. Thank you for contributing to the show.
And the cup that's on the viewers' post, that could have been made in the Potteries.
The cup on the viewers' post was made in the Potteries, Allah Alam.
Yes, it could have been. You never know.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Dr. Stef, I want to tell you honestly, it's quite frankly, it's been an honor to have you here and a pleasure.
Thank you.
I hope you can come back in the future and present many programs and appear on all of our shows. You have so many wonderful things to say, and we appreciate it. And I want to, remind the viewers, get this book. It's available on Amazon. Europe's Forgotten Ottoman Heritage. It's something that all Muslims should be proud of, not just European Muslims, everyone all around the world. And before we go, I want to read a quick email. We always do this at the end of Let's Talk. It's our tradition. We can't leave it now. We want to read an email because we appreciate our viewers writing us. So we have a quick email here from Muhammad. We have a quick email from. We have too many. Let me pick one. Muhammad Abdul from Stokes-upon-Trent.
SubhanAllah. That's my town.
Assalamu alaikum, Malik. I love your show. I really think that you make it special. May Allah reward you. May Allah reward you, Muhammad Abdul. Maybe you know Rafi here from Stokes. In any event, we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Let's Talk. So until then, we leave you in the care of Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're treading seems all uphill, when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're treading seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the dips are high, and you want to smile but have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but do not ever quit. Success is a failure turned inside out. Let's talk and clear the clouds of doubt. Success is a failure turned